Why, hello there, Trailblazers fans. Welcome into the 1977 podcast, a podcast named in honor of your 1977 world champion, Portland Trailblazers. I'm your host, Chris Burkhardt, here for season 2. That's right. We came into this game late in the year last year. You know, took some time off during the summer because we all need to relax. But we're back, baby, and we're going to be here as often as we can for you to have some great Blazer content to listen to all year long. We are in the middle of preseason right now. 2 games down, 2 to go before the regular season starts in earnest. 82 games, and the Blazers with a chance to improve upon last year's season and hopefully be in contention for a playoff spot. That would be quite wonderful. And man, so far this preseason, it's been fun. It's absolutely been fun. You lose a game to Golden State. You win a game against Sacramento, but the wins and losses, they don't matter. We all know that. It's all about what the team is doing out there, the things we see, the progressions we like. And I'm going to tell you what, there has been absolutely plenty to like out of this team early on. First off, let's start with the mega good, the top tier. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. You got to start with Toumani Camara. The offense is there. Defensively, he looks to be in midseason form already. Who doesn't like that? Now, he did kind of deal with a little bit of a knee injury, and it is unknown if he's going to play in that game against Golden State on Tuesday. But that's not a big deal. It's more like, hey, it's preseason. We're not going to take a risk. But if he's good to go, he's good to go. Nothing to worry about there. But he's looked good, and the three-point shot has been effective. And as Twitter was going crazy when, that first game happened, like if he shoots this 40% clip all year long, he's going to be a problem. Now, I don't know what the three-point shot's going to look like all year long, but I do know that right now he looks like a baller. He looks like a baller. He looks like a guy who could end up being one of the best players on the team, just like he did last year. The scary part about Toumani Camara is the guy's just gotten better every single year. Every single year he's done something. So what is it this year? Being aggressive through 2 preseason games. Very, very aggressive with the ball in his hands. He likes to attack the rack. The three-point shot, like I said, has been looking good. And then defensively, as advertised, if not better. Speaking of the defensive end, Jrue Holiday, yeah, he's come in, fit in quite well, has he not? Played just the first half against Golden State. He had 7 assists, led the team there. So they're in very good hands with him running the offense. He got the offensive side of that going, not just the assists, but the points going against Sacramento. And just like Toumani Camara, defense has been incredible. And there's this trickle-down effect that I've noticed because, let's see, Denny Avdija is pretty good on defense. Donovan Clingan, obviously good on defense. Blake Wesley, who comes over from San Antonio, has been pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. And I'd be lying if I said that Shaedon Sharpe doesn't look like he's getting better on the defensive side. I think defense is still the calling card for this team. It's still what they want to hang their hat on every single night. But it's so nice to have a guy like Jrue Holiday who's just so savvy, so smart on that end. And it's very clear that I think people are going to learn by watching him play. As the great Yogi Berra once said, you can observe a lot by watching. And I think the Blazers are going to be doing plenty of watching when it comes to Jrue Holiday. And he is so fun to listen to. Like when you listen to his media availabilities, you can tell when there's a guy who is just a hooper and they know the game, and then you can tell when the guy is just a basketball genius. So let me tell you what, listening to Jrue Holiday talk is just mesmerizing because you can tell that the brain on that, the head on that shoulders, like his basketball brain is off the charts. So that type of talent in the locker room, on the court, helping these young guys, there's a value to that you cannot measure. And the good part is, he wasn't brought in to be a mentor. He's brought in to impact the game. But again, when I say you can observe a lot by watching, as cheesy as it is a Yogiism for all you old heads out there. The point is, just by watching him play, you're going to learn a lot. So it's very, very valuable to have him here. And he's been great. Can't wait to see the regular season. Denny Avdija, he's looked all right. He's looked like a guy who's sitting here going, you know what? I'm ready for the regular season to start. I don't need this preseason thing. He's going to be fine. Defense is there. Offense is there. Turbo is a thing. The unanswered questions are everywhere else. Obviously, what do you have in Jeremy Grant? We've seen two different starting lineups for the preseason. Jeremy Grant's been featured in one of them. He came off the bench against Sacramento. There was times where he was playing on the floor with Sidney Sissoko, Blake Wesley. I think he had Chris Murray on the floor with him and Young Hansen. Like it was the Jeremy Grant show. It was a chance for him to go out there and just play iso ball, which that can suit him well at times. But I like what they're doing with him in different lineups to see where he fits in, because there's value in Jeremy Grant. I know that we all look at the contract and worry about if he's a starter or not, but if Jeremy Grant is in the right spot to succeed, there is value in his skill set. I do think that he is best suited as a team's like fourth or fifth type option. Like if he's in the starting lineup and you have Drew Holiday and you have Shaden Sharp and you have Toumani Camara and you have Denny Avdia and you have Jeremy Grant on the floor, it's not a starting lineup, but let's say those five are on the floor. Jeremy Grant, I would want him to be your fourth or fifth scorer in that. And I think that's a good spot for him. So got to continue to see what you have there with Jeremy Grant. Donovan Clingan, offense, still a work in progress. Defensively, he knows what he's doing, and he's going to lock down the paint all year long. So not a lot of questions there. I think the biggest question going into the season, outside of what the potential lineup could be, is what you had in young rookie Young Hansen. And holy smokes. I might as well just rename this podcast and my shows on Rip City Radio, all that, to just the Young Hansen show. Because if he plays like he did in that game against Sacramento, he is going to be the topic every single night. Every night. Let me tell you what. So he comes out against the Golden State Warriors, fouls out in that game, doesn't look great. Conversation point is that, hey, it's your realization that this is the NBA. Things are a little bit different than maybe what you're used to. Officiating's different, yada, yada, yada. Comes out against the Kings. Takes him a minute. Comes out a little slow. But once he got it going, he absolutely turned it on. He gets a corner three. Denny Avdia's driving down. Nice dribble behind the basket, finds him in the corner, boom, he hits it. And he hits another three, back-to-back threes. Moda Center's going wild. Then he has one where he gets the ball up top of the key, puts it behind his back, puts a spin move on the defender, goes glass, lays it in. Moda Center is absolutely on fire. I have a social media post. Go find me, Chris J. Burkhardt. I just titled it the Young Hansen Experience, because the coolest part about this is not only is there a lot of hoopla around a rookie, there always is, but obviously coming over from China, being one of the last big first-round draft picks since like Yao Ming and Yan Leon. I'm not very good at the name pronunciations, but coming over, you got an entire country who is absolutely basketball hungry, right? China is a huge basketball market, loves the NBA. And so now all eyes are on Portland, to the point that it was the first preseason game at Moda Center. First home preseason game. And there was multiple Young Hansen jerseys in the stands, even though the stands were like half full, because again, preseason, but multiple. There was a guy sitting right in front of media row in a Young Hansen jersey who at one point, Hansen gets to the free throw line and he's yelling at him in Chinese. Like, I'm sitting there, I'm like, if I'm Young Hansen, I hear that, like, my fans are speaking my native tongue, and like, what a cool feeling, right? What a cool feeling. And when Young Hansen gets that basket I talked about, where he puts it on the ground and gets a spin move, he goes glass, the guy in front of me row just goes absolutely bonkers. They were loving it. Every single person in Moda Center just off their chair. They were standing up. Like, it was that cool. It was a surreal experience. Young Hansen Mania. It took over. If he can continue to grow on that, it's just, there's some potential there. There is absolutely some potential there. Defensively, he gives up a little bit. He's not quick. He's not quick. Doesn't have that lateral movement where he can stay in front of guys when you put him out on the perimeter. But he's still good enough to be in the paint. He'll go get you block shots like he did against Sacramento. Offensively, though, there's some talent there. And we all talk about his passing and his vision. He had an absolute incredible pass to a cutting Shaden Sharp right on the baseline for the easy dunk. Like, it's beautiful. It's absolutely a thing of beautiful. And like when you can get Moda Center standing up, on their feet, preseason game, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's going to be fun to see him play these next 2 preseason games, because then the real question with him becomes, what does he do when the regular season hits? Because do you go with Dwap Reith, the tried and true? Does Robert Williams get back into the flow, and is he healthy? Because if he is, then young Hansen's probably your third center. You got to get Rob Will on there. Rob Will is talented as all hell. I mean, last year I think he proved that he was probably the best center at that point in time. Brings it offensively, brings it defensively. He's quick. He can guard on the perimeter. He does a ton for you. So if he's healthy, he's a go. But there's going to be a clamoring for young Hansen, because the mania is real. The mania is real. And I was talking to friend of the podcast, friend of the show, Keith Feltner-Smith of the Trailcasters, about how, as corny as it is, like, I love the Chinese Jokic nickname, right? I like that comparison, or the Chinese Sabonis. Like, I like that. Why? Because the low-hanging fruit is to go, a 7-foot tall Chinese basketball player. Oh, he's Yao Ming. But if you're old enough to remember Yao Ming, the skill set's completely different. Completely different. Like Yang will do good defensively, but Yao Ming could lock down the paint. Dude's like 7'10". I know he really wasn't, but he was a good defender, good free throw shooter, just good all the way around. Like, different ball games. So I like that, even though it's a stretch, because no one is as good as Nikola Jokic. I at least like that the comparison is to someone who does have a very, very similar skill set, is built in that same mold, even though they are worlds apart in their overall talent level at this point. But it's not like Nikola Jokic came into the league as, the best player in the world and everyone knew he was going to be a stud. He was famously drafted during a Taco Bell commercial. We know this every single year because the world reminds us. So you don't know what you're going to get, and guys will take time to develop. I do just love that he's being compared to a guy who has a similar skill set, who's good with his vision, can find the passes, has an offensive skill set, and just puts it on full display. He's been great. He's been a highlight of the preseason, taking advantage of these runs. So you got 2 more preseason games to go. Home against Golden State on Tuesday, as of this recording, and then of course Thursday's game on the road against Utah. And I hope he has 2 more great games. Take advantage of this, because, again, you don't know what those rotation minutes look like once you eventually get to the regular season. Now, outside of that, what else is there to talk about? Shaedon Sharpe came out in Golden State. Offensively, looks like he's ready to be the go-to scorer. I thought he looked really good in the Sacramento game as well. Scoring was a little more evenly distributed, but he looks like a guy who can take that next leap like everyone wants him to. Now, during media day, people were a little upset because he can be more of a laid-back guy. They want him to be more aggressive. You can be as quiet and laid-back as you want to be in an interview. Just go be aggressive on the court. And I think he has been aggressive offensively. And as I said earlier, defensively, I really like the effort I've seen from him. Is there plenty to learn? I do think that there's still plenty to learn on that side of the ball. I still think that he's not a world stopper. But last year he was pulled out for just plain lack of effort. And coach called him out, called his whole team out, and he had to earn his spot back through 2 preseason games. The effort on that side of the ball it's good. It's good, and it's put him in positions to succeed, and that's what you want. If you're giving effort on that side, Coach Billups is going to like it. And at the same time, when you're playing with guys, Drew Holiday's on the floor next to you, and Tumani Kamara's on the floor next to you, and Donovan Klingen's on the floor next to you, and Denny Avdia or Jeremy Grant's on the floor next to you, you don't want to be the oddball out, the only one who's not playing on the defensive side of the ball, or having coach look at you and go, okay, well, we're going to take you out, sub 2 back in so that we're in an all defensive lineup because I can't trust you to play defense. It's similar to what Tumani Kamara said after his rookie year about how he wanted to be better on the offensive side of the ball because he didn't want to be a liability. He didn't want coach to pull him out when they needed a bucket because he wasn't good offensively. So I'm going to go work on that during the offseason. He did. And then last year he was a reliable shot. And I think this year he's going to be even more so. So if you're Shaedon Sharpe, I think you look at that too and go, I don't want to be a liability defensively. I don't want coach to pull me out because there's a minute left and we need to stop. I want him to trust me to go in there and get it, which is where the value of guys like Drew Holiday playing next to you is pretty incredible. So those are the things we like. I also think Blake Wesley has looked very competent as what is likely that fourth point guard on a healthy team. But when you don't have Damian Lillard and you don't have Scoot Henderson for the first few weeks of the season, you need someone that you can trust. And I think Blake Wesley's that guy. I do think that the team goes obviously heavy into Drew Holiday, Denny Avdia running the point. I even see some situations where maybe you put Tumani Kamara in that Scottie Pippen type role and let him be the facilitator of the offense for a second. But I think you have a guy in Blake Wesley who's going to be good when you need him. And that's what you need in your point guard depth. It doesn't mean he has to play every night, but if you call upon him, you want him to be in a good spot. And as much as, we all like DB Hooper, which is just objectively one of the best nicknames to City, combo, it's just, I think Blake's a better player. He's very good defensively, as he's shown during these 2 preseason games, very athletic, not as loosey-goosey with the ball as Delano Banton was. And so I like what the value pick is there. Because, again, he doesn't have to go out there and be a world beater. And if the team's fully healthy, he's your 4th point guard, if not on the roster. But they have a spot for him right now. They need him, and I think he's going to fill it just fine. Speaking of which, Scoot Henderson nursing the hamstring injury. He's going to miss some time, original 6 to 10 week window. And then you got to ramp back up. Some people don't expect him to be back until, the January-ish. And I think you got to take your time with that. Absolutely want him to come back healthy. Don't rush that back. Don't re-aggravate it. Don't hurt it worse. Just hopefully the team can move forward and not drown without you. But I want him to be back as soon as possible because I want to see what they have in him. I think he's poised for a breakout year, and he's going to need it. He's going to need it, but you can't have a breakout year if you're not on the court. You don't have a breakout year by sitting on the bench. So those are the things that we've seen through 2 preseason games with 2 more to go. It's been a little unsettling, quite honestly, and not talked about enough that Matisse Thybulle hasn't played, dealing with some knee soreness. I mean, this is a guy who missed like 90% of last year. Looked good in the 10 games that he played. Gets you the win against Toronto because he gets that late block shot. But you need him back in the lineup. And when you get Tease back in the lineup, then watch out. Just watch out, because you're going to have defenders in the starting lineup. You're going to have defenders on the bench. You're going to be able to attack teams just incredibly multifaceted on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, think about that. You could go out there, give me a lineup of Drew, Tease, Tumani, Jeremy, and DC. Because for all the hate Jeremy gets, Jeremy is a good defensive basketball player. There was times last year where he was one of your best. Give him credit there. He's not as good as Tumani. He's not Drew Holiday. No one on the roster might be, even Tumani, because Drew Holiday is filthy. But yeah, you got talent on this team, and this is exciting. This is exciting. I go back to the rally where Damian Lillard was introduced again, and I looked over at Chad Doan because there was thousands of people at Pioneer Courthouse Square just to welcome Dame back to Portland. And I looked at Chad, and I was like, man, for the first time in years, like, it just feels good to be a Blazer fan. It feels good to be a Blazer fan because there's optimism again. And this year, you're going to put your best foot forward. If you lose games, it's because you were out-talented, they outcoached you, whatever it was. You're not losing games because you're putting your worst lineups on the floor and doing the whole tank thing. Like I said, tank is a 4-letter word, but it should be one of those 4-letter words you don't want to hear, right? The F word, the S word, the T word, tank. I don't want to ever hear it again. If you go out there and you win 30 games, but you were playing your young guys, you were developing, you showed something, I think I'll be okay with that. I think Blazer fans will be okay with that. It's that optimism, though, because, yeah, I think things are looking up. Things are looking up. Oh, and by the way, just real quick, seeing Damian Lillard in Moda Center on the Blazer bench again, even though he's not playing, some things just feel right. All right, that's going to do it for episode 1 of season 2. We're back, baby. Be sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Get some listeners. We're going to start filming these, getting these on YouTube as well. As always, be sure to follow me. Chris J. Burkhardt is the name on social. And you can hear me every Monday on Courtside Monday and 2 hours before tip-off on Blazers game day and after every game on the 5th quarter, all on your home of Blazers, Rip City Radio, 620 in the iHeartRadio music app. You guys have been wonderful. Talk to you on the next one.
You've been listening to 19 1977 podcast. See you next time.